All right, now, before we start 5.3, I want to review over finding the least common multiple. So right quick, find me the least common multiple of 144 and 1208. This is a review of 5.1. And the only reason I care about the least common multiple is in 5.3, you're finding the least common multiple for the common denominator. Okay? So go ahead and find that. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes what? 13. There you go. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. Find that. Oh yeah, just come on in whenever. Walmart.
Yeah.
Am I that weird? I left my phone.
You left your phone.
Yeah, it's in my office. Make it more. Give you a hint. I'm going to start with 2. Why? They're both even. And 2 is the easiest number in the world except for 10 to divide into. So 2 will go in there 72 times. 2 will go in there 604. No, you should not be using a calculator. If you're using a calculator, then you need to wean yourself off of it because this is not calculator work. Just don't let me mess up. Hey, 604. I'm not saying anybody was using a calculator. I'm just saying I haven't said get a calculator out yet. They both even? Yes. So that'd be 36. And that'd be 302. 302. I watched a movie last night and it was I watched a movie. You know, there's some movies you just expect to be a good movie. You ever seen the movie Flight with Denzel Washington? Oh gosh, that'd make you go out and want to shoot yourself. I thought it was going to be a good movie. You know, it had Denzel Washington in it, and don't get it. Don't get it on the rest. Well, same thing with Charlize Theron. I watched a movie last night called The Monster. You ever seen that movie? Oh, it was depressing. But anyway, I don't know why I started talking about that. But anyway, I guess it was on my mind. All right, what are these 2? They're even, so we can keep on going. 18, dang old 302. Well, half of 300 is 150. So what's half of 302? 151. Now that's when you're using your brain, not reaching for a calculator. Okay, real math what? Well, maybe it will get 3. No, 3 won't go into it. I think that's it. So we got to keep on going to get 1s. So I'm going to go ahead and divide by 3. And 3 won't go into 18. Yeah, well, you got to say it 6 times. And 3 will not go into 151, so we just bring that down. 3 will go into 6 2 times. Will not go into 151, so we just bring that down. 2 will go into 1. There's one of our 1s. That's what we want. We want both of them. Good. Keep talking. 2 will not go into 151, right? No, it will not, so it comes down. So we've got to continue over here. And what I'll do is it'll let me. You only press, don't you? Let's see if I can do this right. There we go. And move that up. Okay, everybody with me? All right, somebody got a question? Come on now, ask away. If it doesn't go into it after the real math stops, let's put a line where the real math stops. That's where the real math stops. Why?
Because you can't break 151.
Exactly. The real math stops. There is no number. There ain't none. Whatever you want to call it. There is no number that will go into 18 and 151 together. So that's where the real math stops. And after the real math stops, you use basically your own math. But you want what? You want 2 1s right here. Well, is there any of those numbers that will go into 151?
13.
Good job. 13. I hope. I mean, I don't know. I haven't done it. So let's do it in our heads. 13. 13. That comes down. And 13 will go in here 1 time. Huh?
1 time.
It'll go in there 1 time. And then that'll leave 21. 13 will go into 21. Huh?
It's 51.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 13 will go in there 1 time. That'll leave what? 2. 21. 13 will not go into 21. So 13 won't go into it. What else?
How are you getting, okay, I'm confused. When do you get to 13? Those are the good ones.
When you divide
So
it.
you can go to
13 into 151.
15 1 time.
Right there. Let me answer the question,
okay,
please.
so 13 and 15.
I'm doing it in my head. That's what y'all should be doing. All right, so that 13 won't go into it. So, take 13 out. What other number can we use? Is there any number that will go in 7? No, yeah, 7 will go into it. Thank you, class. 7 will go into 1, so you bring it down. 7 will go into 15 2 times, and that'll leave what? No, that's 11. I was thinking 21. That won't work. So it looks like you can't divide it. So 151 goes right here. Unless y'all found the number. Did y'all find the number? I don't think you did. 151 is prime. And there's your 2 1s. So here is your what? Least common multiple. 2 to the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 to the 4th times 3 squared times 151. All right? Now, do y'all remember doing this in 5.1? Not one as difficult as this, but one like this. All right? Now, let's carry it over to 5.3. In 5.3, you're adding and subtracting what? Fractions. In order to add or subtract fractions, which is the most complicated, this is what everybody reaches for the calculator for when you're in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 12th grade. How did I know that? Because when I started Tri-County Tech, I could not add or subtract fractions. Could not do it. And I graduated high school. So don't feel pregnant if you're in the same boat that I was. Okay? All right. So, plus, minus, you're going to subtract. So, 1/15 plus 7/15 is what?
8/15.
All right, no problem. Then what's the problem? As, huh? Already has a common denominator. You think I'm going to put these on the test? Nope. Because anybody can do that. I'd teach about 7-year-olds how to do those. Okay? If these match, all you got to do is just add the top or subtract the top and simplify them easy. I'm not going to cover those because those are the ones that everybody knows how to do. Those are your gimmies. So let's do something simple. 1 over 3 times plus 2 over 7. Well, there's a rule here that you can write down. If the denominators are prime, what can you do to them? Multiply them together. If the denominators are prime, let's write that and read it. That means you need to get your highlighters out. If, a little star here, if denominators, no coffee. If denominators are prime, does that sneeze? Well, no sneezing. If denominators are prime, multiply together. Now I'm going to show you the different tricks, but then I'm going to show you the surefire way at the very end. When in doubt, use the last method, which is finding the least common multiple. So, the first thing you do is find your what? Common denominator. And using this rule, it's got 3 M's in it. I don't care. Denominator. And in this case, it's what? 21. So I'm going to put a 21 down here. And I'm going to put a 21 down here. And put my black back in. And now do number 2. Convert what? Numerators. Convert the numerators. Now this is where you use the arrows or the big Z. I'm going to do both. Of course, most of you, or some of you, can do it in your head. And that's fine. If you get 10 out of 10 problems correct. If you get 10 out of 10 problems wrong, then you are not the rocket scientist that you believe you are. Okay? So you need to use another method. No problem. 3 will go into 21 how many times? 7. 7 times 1 is 7. That's all there is to it. Some people use a big Z. I'll show you that in just a second. 7 will go into 21 how many times? 3 times 2 is? And then what? You got a common denominator. 6 plus 7 is 13 over 21. Now, a lot of people will ask me this. Well, Hubert, when do I get an improper fraction? Well, we'll get there. We'll get there. But you only reduce if needed. 13 is prime, so the only numbers that are going to 13 are 1 and 13, so that has to be a 26 or a 39 or something like that for it to reduce. So you're done. Now that's pretty basic. And that's got the, what's the rule on y'all? Y'all make me feel insecure and I have to go out and put big tires on my truck and stuff. If denominators are prime, multiply them together. Okay? So that's one little trick. Now let's go to nerding. And we're going to go over about 5,000 of these. Okay? Because I'm going to make sure, there's 2 things I want to make sure you can do in here. One is use practical application. The other is make sure you can add some fractions. All right. So let's do one that's a little bit different. 1 over 4 plus 7 over 24. Now I want you to do it, and if you can't do it, meditate. Now we're going to get our little red highlighter out here. And I'm going to put if smaller number is multiple of bigger number, it is Common, I can't spell today, I think I might as well just quit. It's all Bush's fault. It is common denominator. Now we're talking about the denominator. We care less about the numerators. All right, so look at 4 and 24. Is 4 a multiple of 24?
Yes.
Then you use 24. Don't multiply these two together. That's going to give you some BA number that you don't need. Just 24. Now what? Same thing. Convert to what? Convert the numerators. 4 will go into 24 how many times? 6 times 1 is? 24 will go into 24. 1 times 7. So 7 plus 6 is? And you get that one right. Now we've gone over the two easiest ones. What if they're not so easy? Well, then that's when you have to go back to your rule that you learned back in 5.1. Okay? So let's try a nerd. I'm going to write it a little bit different this time so you can see how to use the big Z. 1/2. I don't like using red all the time, I'm sorry. That's a power color. You don't use red all the time. All right. 1/2 minus 1/4. Now we all know it's a quarter because 50 cents minus 25 cents is what? It's a quarter. You should know that. But I'll ask this on test if people get it wrong. But I ask you what 50 cents minus a quarter is, and you tell me a quarter every day. Why? Oh yeah, just come on in whenever you want to. That's okay. Did you get enough beauty sleep? Give you a week off and y'all just take advantage of it. Huh? Yeah, that's you getting your beauty sleep. That's what you're supposed to say. Why is that? Why is that? Why is it I ask y'all on the test what a half minus a quarter is, and 50% of the class will miss it, but if I ask you what 50 cents minus a quarter, you'll tell me a quarter every time. Same thing with this. When I tell you multiply 6 times 50, y'all reach for a calculator, but I ask you what, or 6 times 25, you reach for a calculator, but I ask you what 6 quarters is, you tell me it's 150. Your mind works. You just don't let it because of that calculator. Calculator is one of the best things that we've had, but it's also one of the what? Worst. A lot of people say, well, slide rule is the same thing. No, it wasn't. You had to work on the slide rule. You had to actually think to use the slide rule. You don't have to think to use a calculator. That's why you got so many people that can't make change that work at Walmart or Target. You give them 6 cents, $20.56. You give them 20. I mean, if your bill is $15 and that hurts me. If it's $15.27 and I give you $20.07 and watch your head explode, that's because you don't know how to count. What? You got an example?
No, I was just going to say that.
What were you going to say?
Because I look at Quick Trip and they'll give me it'll be like 8, I think it was 8.87 or something like that, and they gave me
$10.07.
No.
So what did they give you?
They gave me $10 and like 4 pennies or something, so they could get a quarter back.
Now that's kind of odd.
Yeah, and
That's odd.
We have to do all of ours in
Yeah.
our head, like all the math in our head.
Well, good. I think that's a good thing. I think that when you go to a restaurant, this is no joke. I might have told you this. I went to a drive-through restaurant, and it wasn't Burger King and McDonald's because I don't eat there, okay? Because I saw too many videos on TV. On what you call it. But I went to and I like chicken, so that narrows it down to about 3 or 4. I went to a drive-through and I asked for a thing of chicken tenders, and a couple of honey mustards. And do you know what the girl asked me? How many is a couple? Did we already talk about that? Yeah. I'll go through so many classes, I can't remember what I tell y'all. A couple. Each one of y'all has a mother and a father. Believe it or not, you do. You may not know who they are. You may not know, some people don't know which one of them are because of all kinds of things. But everybody has a mother and a father. Okay? And that's a what? A couple. Couple. Two. So anyway, which quick trick do you work at so I can come up there and fuss at you? Or fuss at your manager? Huh? All of them? I've never seen you. I stop at the one up there at Gold's Gym a good bit. So you work at the one up there at Liberty Highway? Okay. I'll come in there half drunk sometime. All right. So what's the common denominator? 4. And here's the big Z. 2 will go in 4. 2 times 1 is 2. 4 will go into 4. 1 times 1 is 1. What's 1 plus 2? 3/4. I added. I'm sorry. If you subtract, you get 1/4. I'm sorry. If you subtract, you get 1/4. If you add, you get 3/4. I'm sorry. I know. I got complicated about QT. All right. So again, is this a easy one or is it a challenging one? It's an easy one. Okay. So let's get started on some that aren't so easy. Let's look at some of your homework problems. Because I don't like to make them up because sometimes they don't work out right when I make them up. I can make them up, but I don't want to get one that's got a crazy one. Then y'all will go all crazy and then I won't be able to teach y'all anything. That's a joke. Y'all ain't going to talk. Well, y'all ain't going to laugh. Why don't y'all want to talk to me? I give y'all a week off. You don't want to talk to me. Why is that? Y'all are crazy. Okay, I'm waiting. Come on, people. Come on. Come on, you can do it. There we go. I thought I just pulled this up. Did I? Oh, I know where it is. It's down here. I don't know why it does this. Okay, that's not what I want. I'll get to this in just a minute. Okay, I'm fixing to get pissed. Okay, gosh, why is it running so slow? It's all Bruce's fault. That's the test question right there. Well, I don't understand why this. Okay, no, that's not one. That's a simple one. We just did one like that one. Okay, there we go. All right, write that one down and try it. I don't know. 119 over 125 plus 49 over 50 plus 110. 119 over 125 plus 49 over 50 plus 110. Now, the rule here is I have no idea what the common denominator is, so I need to use my least common multiple. So go over here and draw your chart. You put 10, 50, and 125 at the top. And 2, 3, 5, 7, and 11. And find your least common multiple. QT is convenience stores what Target is to department stores. QT has done its thing with designing a convenience store. They're the target of convenience stores. Walmart used to be that way until they started getting stupid. And then Target took the place. I will not go into Walmart. The only Walmart I go into is Target. And I used to work at 396, which is on Brown Road, but I won't go in there anymore. I go to Target. I guess I'm getting picky in my old age. $10, $50, and $125. I'm going to go white screen. 10, 50, and $125. Everybody with me? 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, and sometimes 13. And we all know these are divisible by 5, not 10, because that one's not divisible by 10. So 5, that'll give us a 2, a 10, and 5 will go in there 2 times, leave 25, and the real math what? The real math stops. Why does the real math stop?
Because
yeah. Because I heard it. I just heard it all mumbled up. Because the 2 and the 5, the 2 and the 10 is divisible by 2, but the 10 and the 25 is divisible by 5. But not divisible by any one number. So you're done. Not done with the problem, but you're done with the real math. So your real math stops here. Now we use Jack and Beanstalk math, magic math. But what do we want on the bottom? Ones. So here we go. Let's take a blue marker. And I'm going to divide by 2. You can divide by 5 if you want to. I don't care. It's going to come out the same answer. So I'm going to divide by 2 because it's right here. Divide by 2, that gives us, hey, there's one of our ones. 2 into 10. And then 2 will not go into 25, so you bring it down. Now what? 5. Good. 5. That comes down. Hey, we got another 1. And 5. Now what? 5, and you got a 1, a 1, and a 1. There you go. You're done. Here is your common denominator. Now, do not reach for a calculator. Do you have a 10 in there? Yeah, you do. You got 2 10s. There's a 2 times 5. Oh, no, you don't. You have the 1. There's a 2 times 5, so that's 10. You can multiply anything times 10. And what's 5 times 5? 25 times 10? So 250, and let me copy this because I'm going to show you a trick I learned in the war. There you go, Control. Let's say, paste, copy. And that's the wrong page. Sorry. There we go. And, hold on a second. I don't use this very much. That's not what I want. Alright, so this is the trick I want to show you. You don't even need a calculator. All you got to do is put that 250 down here. And I'll do it in black. Here's my 250. Here's my 250. 250. 250. And let's say you don't know your multiplication tables too good. Let's say you don't know how many times 125 will go into 250. Well, y'all do know that. It's 2, but let's say you don't. We'll go up here and take 250 out. I'm sorry, 125. Where's 125? 1, 2, 3. Where does that leave? 2. So 2 times 119 is 238. That's right, class. Check me. Well, let's do another one. How many times will 50, let's say you don't know your multiplication tables. How many times will 50 go into 250? Well, cover up 50. 10 times 5 is 50. How many times? See the top number up there? What is that? 5. 5 times 49, hold it. 5 times 50 is what? 250 minus 5 is what? 245. Make sure I did that right. Of course I did. And 10 will go into, this is easy. Now, y'all can do this one, but just in case, 10 will go into 250. Take out the 10. How many times? 25 times 1. I'll do that one for you. 25. I'm not making fun of you. I'm just showing you how you need to use your brain. You don't need to use your brain. You don't need a calculator on this. Now, I have no idea. Let's see if I can do it in my head. 245 and 225, that'd be 260, 270, sorry. 270, that'd be 470, that'd be 508. Somebody help me.
Yeah, 508.
All right, now here's the question I get. And we're going to go into mixed numbers right here. That is a what? No, it's the improper fraction. And I always get it's top heavy. It's improper. I always get the question, well, we got to turn it into a mixed number. You ain't got to do anything unless the directions say so. Well, how do you know if the directions don't say so? Well, I'm going to tell you Hubert's rule. Where in real life do we use mixed numbers? Okay, that's not rhetorical. I'm asking y'all. Where in real life do we use mixed numbers? Think of a mixed number and think of where you use it. Measuring for recipes. There's one application. What else? Huh? Use your ruler. That's another thing. What else? What's that gold you put in your car every day? Gas. You measure it by miles per gallon. You measure it by gallons. 2.5 gallons. Those little red containers that people pour all over the engine of the lawnmower when you're filling it up. They haven't become idiot-proof. Have you noticed that? We have become so stupid. I mean, our society has become so stupid. Have you bought a gas can recently? You got to press aside, hold your leg up, and hold your arm up this way, and push another button just to get the gas to come out because idiots burn themselves. Because, you know why? Most of the idiots are in the Marlboro Club and got a cigarette hanging out of their mouth while they're filling up their lawnmower with gas.
Yeah, they have like emergency shut off at every gas pump now.
Yeah, because of them. Why do we use mixed numbers? Units of units of ruler measurement. Unit of measurement. Write that down. So if your question is asking for a unit of measurement like cups, feet, gallons, then you need to change that mixed number into improper fraction in a mixed number. Have you ever used 11/5 cups of flour? Well, you don't have some fun with people at Walmart or Lowe's. Go into Lowe's. I've done this. Go into Lowe's, especially with the teenagers. They don't know nothing. Go into Lowe's or Walmart and ask for a 15/7 inch wrench. They'll spend 2 hours looking for it. All right? Or go in and ask for a 50/100 inch wrench. Hell, sir, we don't have it. It is fun to do that though, because these people, graduate high school and they don't know what 50/100s reduces down to. So anyway, where in real life do we use mixed numbers? In units of measure. So, if your question is not asking for a unit of measurement, do you need to change it into a mixed number? No, unless what? The directions say so. A lot of people say, well, Hubert, my teacher told me that was reducing. Your teacher was wrong. Let me show you. If you ask any mathematician how to simplify, how you know something is simplified, the first thing they'll tell you is how many times your paper hits the pencil. Your pencil hits the paper. So let's take 7/2. All right, let's count how many strokes that is. 1, 2, 3. Everybody with me? I didn't even add my Arabic 7. I didn't do the Arabic 7. I just did the regular 7. 3 strokes. 4 if you did the Arabic. Now reducing is supposed to be simplifying it to a simplified form, right? So let's change it to a mixed number. 3 and what? 1/2. Let's count those. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that simplified? No, Hubert. That's right. It's not. You did not reduce it. You just what? You rewrote it. That's all you're doing. Writing from a changing from a mixed number, from a improper fraction to a mixed number is not reducing. It is rewriting it. Now, what about 4/2? Is 4/2 an improper fraction? No. 4/2 is what? 2, Hubert. That's right, class. That's a whole number. That's something entirely different. This is a mixed number. And when you go from a mixed number to a improper fraction to a mixed number, you are rewriting it, because most of the time it takes more hits of the pen with a mixed number than it does with an improper fraction. So do not use the word reduce. Use the word rewrite. That would be more correct. Some people have grown up thinking that they're reducing. They're not. All right, so let's do nerd. Oh, did we check that last one? Let's check it, see if we know what we're doing. What was our answer? 508 over 508 divided by 250. Oh, it's divisible. I'm sorry. It's reducible. I'm sorry. 508 is even, and what? 250 is even. So we need to reduce it down. I usually reduce by 2s. So reduce it down by 2. What would that be? Let's say 50. That'd be 254. 254 over 125. 254 over 125. And 5 is the only thing I'm going to 125, so that's pretty much done. Let's check it now. And that'll sneak up on you. Now, I won't take all credit off. but I will take a good portion of it off. You need to remember to reduce. 254 over 125. Look at there. We got a fantastic. We feel good about ourselves. So we don't have to put smokestacks on our 4-cylinder truck. All right. Give you a nerd. All right, try that one. Pause the recording. Don't let me forget to turn to resume recording. And pull up our handy dandy problem. And I'm just going to go through and do it like you would do it on a test. So, 15, 75, and 125. 5 will go in there 3 times. 5 will go in here how many times? 25 times. 5 will go into 12. 2 times, that'll leave 25. That'd be 5. And that's not right. It's supposed to be right here. This is wrong. Thank you. I was thinking of the next one. Is that better? And then real math stops, but we can go on, and 3 will go in there 1 time, 5 times, 25, 5, 1, 1, 5, and then 5, 1, 1, 1. So here is your common denominator, which is 25, 5 times 5. And I'm going to try to do this the easy way, because I don't want to do it the hard way. Multiply 25 times 15. 25 times 15, you don't know how much that is. But what's 5 times 5? 5 times 5, 25 times 3. What's that? 75. And 75 times 5, that may be easier for you to do. Or you could do 125 times 3, which is 375. So what's your common denominator? 375. And you feel good about yourself. All right, convert them if you haven't yet. How many times will 125 go into 375? 3 times 86? 178? Help me out. 258. Oh, I said 3 times. 258. Oh, 3 times 8 is not 16, George. I always do that. I always say 3 times 8 is 16. 3 times 8 is 24. Sorry. So that'd be 256? 258. 75 will go in, well, let's say we don't know that. We don't have a calculator, so 75, take out your 75. 3 times what? 3 times 25, how many times? 5 times. 5 times 68, dang old 340. Help me out. 375 will go into 15. How many times? Convert 15. How many times? 25 times 1. I'll do that one for you. $340 plus 260 is 600. All right? 625 minus 2 is 623. So you should get 623. That's what I want students doing when they leave my class. I don't want students on the calculator adding these 3 numbers up. I want them saying 260 plus 340 is 600. 600 plus 25 is 625 minus 2 is 623. That's using your brain. I forgot the answer. What was it? 6 what?
623 over 375.
and reduce if possible. That's 623. I don't know if that's reducible or not. Just type it in. You get 3 chances. I mean, don't waste a lot of time on a test or homework trying to figure out if it's reducible or not. Just do it, and if it is, it is. 375. It's not. And that's number 39. What does number 40 say? All right, y'all try that one. I'll raise it up a little bit where y'all can see it. I don't know why it's doing that. 1 over 30 minus 9 over 40 minus 11 over 50. 30, 40, and 50. $30, $40, $50. Well, 5 will go into all 3 of them. 5 will go in there 6 times, 8 times, and what? 10 will go in, 2 will go in here, 3, 4, and 5. Real math, what? Real math stops. So let's get our ones. 3, 1, 4, 5, 5, 1, 4, 1, and 2 squared, 1, 1, and 1. Now, as you see, I didn't have much space, so I did 2 squared. You can do that if you want to, once you get good at it. I mean, I don't want you doing it until you know how to do it. So, 2 to the third times 5 squared times 3. 2 to the third times 5 squared times 3. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out. Why am I going to pull that out? That's a 10. Do I have another 10? Yes. Down here. I'm going to put 2 times 2 right here. There's a 10. So I got 2 10s. What's 2 times 3? What's 6 times 100? Let's mirror. Do you see why people... I bet you, I guarantee you, $1 to a donut hole, there's somebody in here that says, I've never seen this before in my life. Because their teacher told them to use what? Calculator. Or they didn't pay attention. That's what I did. I didn't pay attention. I had other things more important. 2 things. Guess what they were? Huh? No, I didn't drink till I got the Marine Corps. Anybody want to know what they were in high school? 2 things. Football and the dang old cheerleaders. Not the cheerleaders. Dang old girls. It's y'all's fault. It's girls' fault. It's women's fault. It's always their fault. Y'all gonna take that laying down? Y'all ain't gonna say nothing? You're just gonna ignore it, right? It's a caveman. I don't do it very well. Some cavemen do it and they really think that. But when you're in high school, you got other priorities. And I had other priorities. 600. So how many times will 30 go into 600? 20 times. 20 times 1, I'll do that one for you. How many times will 40? I have no idea. So you go over here and take out 40. Where is 40? 8 times 5? 2 times 2 times 5? How many times will 40 go into 600? 30. 3 times 10 is what? 30. 30 times 40 is that right? No. 15. Well, let's take out 40 again. 8. Oh, I'm sorry. This and this. There. 15. I'm sorry. 15 times. 15 times 9. 135. 50 could go into 60, 600, how many times? Well, you don't know. So go up here, take out your 50. 5 times 10, 5 times 10, will leave 3 times 4 is what? 12. 12 times 11, hold on. 12 times 10 is what? And then you add what? Another 12, and that'd be 132. And that's what you're supposed to be doing with that brain of yours. And 20 minus 135 is going to give you negative 1 what? 15? Negative 115, that's a minus 247. Y'all check my math. Negative 247 divided by 600. Fantastic. We are winners. 50. Take a clean sheet of white paper and fold it in half. Fold it in half again and fold it in half a third time. Now unfold the paper. There should be 8 equal regions. Use the folded piece of paper. That's not the one I want. Where is my... That's the one I want. That one, oh, we were on what? What were we on? Okay, these are the ones I want. All right. There's a test question right there. But we ain't finished. We ain't ready for that one yet. We're still doing subtraction. All right, we got Dabari. All right, do this one. Write this one down. A woman is 68 7/18 inches tall, and her daughter is 58 3/4 inches tall. How much taller is the woman? Taller, ER. Anytime you see the word ER means you're going to what? Subtract. Let y'all work on that one for a second. We'll put it on pause. I have to borrow a number. So, first of all, you need to get a common denominator. So, 4 and 18. So, we'll go over here, 4 and 18. 4 and 18. Let's see, 2, 2, 9, 2, 1, 9, 3 squared, 1, 1. So that's 9 times what? 36. So 36 is our common denominator. So 68 7/18 minus 58 3/4. And when I do these type problems, I go vertically. So we got to change, we're going to need a 36 right here, so I'm going to change this into 68 and something 36. And this will be 58 and something 36. How many times will 18 go into 36? 2 times 7? How many times will 4 go into 36? 9 times 3. What's the problem? What's the problem? You can't take 27 away from 14. You can and get a negative, but then that'll just cause problems because 68 minus 58 is not negative. So then you got conflicting signs, so you can't do that. So, you got Dabari. You got Dabari 1 from the 68. And that changes that 68 to what? 67. So I'm going to put this 1 up here. It's floating around. Changes that to 67. But that 1 is a whole number. And it's floating around up here in the clouds. It's got to come down. And it comes down whatever denominator you need. So if you have a denominator of 5, it'd be 5/5. If you have a denominator of 101, it'd be 101 over 101. If you have a denominator of 36, it'd be 36 over 36. So I'm going to bring this 1 down as 36 over what? And add it to that 14. And now I have 67 and what? 50, 36? 50, 36, check my math, minus 58 and 27, 36. Now what is 50 minus 27? 23, 36. And what's 67 minus 58? 9? And that's your answer. 9 over 23, 36, if I did my math right. And that's how you borrow with fractions. Borrowed. The car is parked in the yard. Borrowed. W. www. www. A lot of people talk strange. www. Clemson. Borrowed. Why can't I get the dadgum answer to come up? What's their answer? 9 over 23, 26. Look there. I tell you what. Dang old math. Dang old genius. All right, let's try nerd. All right, try that one. To repair a sprinkler system, Tommy needs a total of 21 3/8 inches of PVC pipe. Y'all know what PVC pipe is? Come on now. It's the white pipe that's in your house. Water pipe. It's the best stuff in the world because before then you had to deal with copper pipes and that was a pain in the rear. PVC pipe is white. You've seen white pipe before? That's PVC pipe. Huh? Yep, that's all it is. And it's the best stuff since sliced bread. Like I say, if you ever worked on a water line that wasn't PVC, you'd love it. All right. He has on hand, he has in his back of his truck, pieces that measure, I don't know why it's doing this, people. It's not my fault. It's Bush's fault. There we go. 3 1/2, 4 3/4, 6 1/2 pieces. He can combine those pieces, but what does he need? I have to answer this. It's my mother. I hope she had robbed the bank for everyone. Yellow. No, she's not in jail. Yeah. So what are you going to have to do to these three guys? You're going to have to add them up. And then subtract them from,
2138.
there you go, piece of cake. I want to do it on an open sheet, so if you don't mind. Three and a half. Check me right. Then got me all messed up. 3 1/2, and what's the other one? 4 3/4. 4 3/4.
So 6.5.
6 1/2. Now, I automatically know that we need an 8 for a common denominator for two reasons. One is he needs 3/8, and 2, 8 is the common denominator here. Always try to find the common denominator of both parts. If he needed a 16th, then we want to change these to 16ths. That way you don't have to do more work when you're subtracting. All right? So, we're going to add those three together. So we're going to take a 6, a 4, and a 3, and an 8, and an 8, and an 8. 8 will go into 8. 1 times 1 is 1. 4 will go into 8. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 will go into 8. 4 times 1 is 4. 3 plus 4 plus 6 is 13. 1 plus 6 plus 4 is what? 11. Somebody help me out? On mine, we can't have 11/8 feet. So what do? No, don't borrow it. Borrow it. We got to divide. 8 will go into 11 one time. That bumps this up to a what? Payback. Let's do payback. Bump this up to what? 14. That's right. And 8 will go into 11. It'll be 3/8. So all three pieces, we've got 14 3/8. What are y'all smiling about? 14 3/8. Now, what are we subtracting it from? 21 3/8 minus 13 3/8. Well, the 3/8 do what? They cancel. And what's 21 minus 13? Dang all 8? He needs 8 feet more. Or 8 inches or whatever he needs. I don't know what the units are. So let's see what the correct answer is so we can feel good about ourselves. What time's class over? Now. That makes me feel bad. Y'all make me feel just awful. Yawn in my class. Did I not get it right? What did I do wrong? Okay, that's time to quit. Quit on a mistake. That's great. I'll correct it on the next video.